And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gem into Crypto, episode 967. Today is Tuesday, June 14th, 2022, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
At 10-ish, and today's top stories. You know, we missed yesterday, so we got to come in from the weekend. Celsius Exodus. $320 million in crypto sent to FTX. User withdrawals pause. New York City Mayor Adams speaks out against proof of work mining ban legislation. Binanace US faces class action lawsuit over Luna and UST sale. USDD stablecoin falls to 97 cents. Dow inserts $700 million to defend the peg. Axie Infinity, $1 billion crypto gaming startup, promised riches and delivered disaster. And last but not least, JPMorgan wants to bring trillions of dollars of tokenized assets to DeFi. But first and foremost, Bitcoin Zay, what's going on with those prices?
Oh, yeah. So taking a look at our prices today, Bitcoin sitting at $22,320, down 5.3%. Ethereum at $1,204, down 2.3%. Binance at $222 is up 0.1%. Cardano at 50 cents is up 9% today. XRP sitting at 31 cents, up 0.5%. Solana at $29.81, up 9.8%. And last but not least, Dogecoin at 5 cents is up 3.2%. And our biggest gainers for the day, Mint to Earn up 887%, MetaXa up 184%, and Doge Rise up 182% today. A lot of blood in the market and a few bounce backs, but everybody was going crazy on Twitter. So of course, long term, you don't really care if you're dollar cost averaging, but there was a lot of fear in the market. I think the fear index is like below 10. It's like at like 9. So
really quick, what's the price of Bitcoin? I didn't even look at it today.
22,000.
We got a pump from 20,000. Look at that.
Yeah, exactly. It went to 20,800 and got a little small pump, but yeah, these are discount bargain prices, people. I told you we're going back just regular technical analysis to go back to the previous all-time high.
And then really quick, I mean, just to piggyback on that, people remember, like, if you believe in the actual technology, this is where the technology talk's important now. If you believe in the technology, 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. So literally since the price of Bitcoin was 66,000 some change till now at 22,000, nothing negative has happened to the project, only positive things. So if you're actually looking at the value of the project, you shouldn't be worried. A, and B, I just want to give myself a quick pound of back, Zay, because I'm just saying, listen, these are the episodes. Look, we got to clip this stuff. We got to clip this in the old episodes. All I'm saying is I remember last year saying that we would see a $75,000 high. I think we hit about 70, 71. And I remember as of a couple months ago, a month or so ago, I said, it wouldn't surprise me to see a $17,000 flash crash type of price. Have I not been saying 17,000 for a little minute? Come on, bro. Hey.
Oh, yeah. I want to see that wick down. It's gonna happen real quick too. It's gonna be a quick wick down to get all the liquidity, and then then we'll be right back up past 20. I think you got to scare out the players. You got to scare out all the people that's not for real.
All right, so we're gonna do it like this. Right now, that's 1-0. All right, we called it 17K for this year right now, or for this this quarter. We're not even going off years. We're going off quarters. So we want to know.
Hey, actually, we 3-0.
I'm about to go 2-0. I'm about to go 2-0 right now. Don't steal my thunder.
Nah, I know.
What's the other ones you got? Wait, what's the other ones?
Duquan was one. We talked about Terra.
Oh, yeah, Duquan was one. Yeah, Terra.
Yeah. So yeah, 2-0, and then we got 3-0 coming up now.
Wait, what was your third? The one I'm about to say, probably?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm my third right now, Celsius. Like, people.
Exactly. We talk Mashinsky. You got Mashinsky.
People, if you bought the masterclass and you're involved with any of these platforms, you should not have lost a lot of money. Why? Because in the masterclass, when we went over lending platforms, we showed you BlockFi, Celsius, and Nexo. I actually was bringing up the video yesterday. It's like a 12-minute video or something. I was going to put some of it on Twitter or whatever, but I was like, whatever, because the way it was chopped up. But essentially we said, like, hey, this should only be a small portion of your portfolio. While these gains are great and they're available on some of these platforms, like, you cannot trust them 24/7. We keep screaming this over and over again because it's like, you all don't think it's going to happen on these large platforms. Let me reiterate. While it would be highly unlikely because it is a publicly traded company now, do not be surprised if even Coinbase did this. In fact, they even put on their literature, hey, y'all, if we go bankrupt, if something goes wrong, your crypto is ours. So they've even told you already. So my point is, there is no platform safe. which is why regulators who are trying to essentially what's the word? Encourage everyone to use these onboard and offboarding ramps like exchanges are bad ideals. They're trying to centralize everything. And that's the entire point of the Bitcoin network, at the very least, is to keep things as decentralized as possible. So when things go wrong, they're not all in one pot of money or one bucket, as you're seeing here. But before we get started on this Celsius article, actually, Bitcoin Zay, I want to ask you real quick about consensus. You're just at consensus. So what was going on down there?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, quick recap for consensus. A lot of great projects, a lot of great people. Of course, it was sponsored by CoinDesk, who, also have the show with. Got to interview the Minister of Finance from Bermuda. Got to speak with some DAOs, Balcony DAO, as well as others. And then also got to speak with the CEO of Audius as well. So that was great. And then also meeting a lot of the newbies who are in the space. It was great to be at a conference when the price is dropping, because people on their phones looking and saying, "Hey man, you saw the price right?" And that's how you can tell the difference. Is half of us didn't even look at the price. We were like, "I don't know, I didn't even look at it today," or whatever. But that was great. A lot of great speeches from people. Met Spencer Dinwiddie. He was great out there. Shout out to Crypto Blood. Crypto Blood was out there with me, and had a lot of great events. Of course, because it's spread out and consensus is DAOs, it's NFTs. It's a good mix of people. So you got your hardcore Bitcoiners, you got whoever, a lot of VCs, but yeah, some great panels. One of the panels specifically, we spoke about yield on these projects. These 30% APY, like they had it at the conference. We were like, oh man, we should go kick them shits over, man. They're scamming people at the conference. And this is a prime example right here with Celsius. So yeah, great conference. Shout out to everybody who went. Austin is a fun little weird place. Keep it weird. Austin, 6th Street was great.
Really, I know 6th Street. Yeah, get weird, Austin. Whatever.
Oh yeah, whole lot of dirty feet on 6th Street. That's all.
Hilarious and true. I get enough of that in Hollywood. I'm good to go. Really quick, what were the theme or themes of what was the theme or themes of consensus? What would you say was like the theme? Again, looking back at the Bitcoin conference, I think mining was huge. Bitcoin RAs was huge. And it was one other theme I forgot off the top of my head. What were the themes you saw over at consensus?
Oh yeah, so I saw a lot of metaverse themes. It was a whole metaverse section, and they had a metaverse stage specifically for that. When a few years ago, metaverse was just an idea. It might have been one or two companies, but yeah, it was a whole metaverse section. That was one of the big themes. And then institutional involvement. You could see, people from every institution, JPMorgan, all the big ones that showed up, but they will all be like semi-scared. They'd be like, I know everybody hates me, but blah, blah, blah. Like I did a panel with a lady from One United Bank right here in LA. So she was like, yeah, I know a few years ago we weren't listening, but I know people hate us, but we're here now. So that was pretty much the big things. But yeah, it was great to see, and very organized, a lot of food, and bathroom lines did not exist. I was like, man, this conference is well put together.
Hey, and you know what? And yeah, speaking of metaverse, I caught that in the finals, game 5 yesterday, Warriors and Celtics. People, we were talking about this before the show. Coinbase is all over the arena at the Warriors arena. You have Meta commercials nonstop talking about metaverse and all this other stuff. And you literally have it being sponsored by YouTube TV. So, you talk about a trifecta. This thing is happening. Really quick. I want to give some quick shout outs going on. Timothy Grigsby, Alpha Robbins, said working on some OT to catch the live show. There we go. Wendy Nichols, Bitcoin Man, Deron Collins, Patrick Walter, Virgo, 11 Super Mario, Shannon was going on next row. Leader, Chappie, Antonio, Damon, Wyatt, Triad, Virgo, Miss K, Milto, Captain G. Good morning, everyone. What's up, JJ? Said, I wonder, did we catch the Earn Your Leisure with BitBoy last night? No, I didn't catch it. Zay, you did caught it?
I caught the last hour of it, BitBoy's last little bit. And yeah, it was interesting because, again, the way that they speak about the crypto market is like on the investment side and a portfolio, and that's all they focus on. And BitBoy, he's deep into a lot of coins. But I commented on everything on the live and everything. I was on there for a good hour. So yeah,
you should hit me up. You better than me.
Oh yeah, well, I was watching it while I was watching the game. Like it was like in my ear while I was watching the game. So yeah, it was great. They even said it. They were like, if you're here instead of watching the Warriors game, you care about your future or whatnot. And I was like, well, shit, I'm doing both. But no, it was good. It was a good talk to have. Shout out to them for having on BitBoy. A lot of people commented they should have us on.
No, hey, I got to cut you off. Look, I'm not doing that this year. I already told you. Bang, bang,
Yeah.
shots being fired. Listen, here's the thing. I could care less regardless, but you all keep asking everyone else to keep talking about it. There it is, people. They wanted BitBoy. There you have it, folks. So stop asking us what's going on. You already said you reached out before, right?
Yes. One of them.
Or you spoke to him before, like
a long time ago. Yeah.
People, there it's about numbers and money and all the whatever. It's the same old game being played, which is cool, and that's cool. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a difference between getting in the weeds this thing and just looking at it as an investment point of view. And yes, I mean, I think they've spoken. That's what it is. So that's what's up. BitBoy. Hey, Dogecoin to the moon, baby. Get some of that terror while you at it over there.
He mentioned Dogecoin, Shiba, a few other stuff.
How did I know? I didn't even see it. What did I just say?
Yeah. But like I said,
all-time low, baby.
It was a crypto talk, so it was a lot of stuff thrown out there, but not anything, below service level.
That's what's up, though. Shout out to them. Keep the same energy for your entire life. You know me. Keep that same energy your entire life. Never change for me. Please don't ever, ever, ever change. Let's see. Wyatt tries to say, I know y'all got some smoke to get off. Y'all stay calling in the masterclass and y'all always keeping us on our toes. Masterclass is $2,000 Kid Grebo. If you're interested in that, but if you all email us, sometimes we give out little discounts if you email us, whoever. So holler at us if you're watching this show today, and it might be a quick discount coming to you. All right, let's do what's going on with the likes and the chat numbers, and the like numbers are way off. You know what, PFC Wells, I noticed that the other day as well last week, which is why there was no Thursday show, and I felt comfortable about taking off a Monday show. I was like, Zay, you mentioned it before. I was like, are we giving them too much? Maybe we're giving them too much. You know what? So I was like, I'm sleeping in today. So make sure you smash that like and share if you want that real news to come out. If not, Dogecoin to $1. All right, let's get in the show. We've talked enough. Top story of the day, Celsius exodus 320 million in crypto sent to FTX. User withdrawals have been paused. In addition to that, we'll be talking about Binance. Their user withdrawals, I got paused as well. CZ came out and said everything was safe, no worries, and things seem to be back online. But people, whenever any crypto, Bitcoin, any type of company in this space pauses withdrawals without telling you a reason why beforehand, something's awry. But that's Celsius. They've been moving more than $250 million worth of funds from Aave into the FTX exchange for reasons not specified, in addition to suspending withdrawals for users. Well, the market's dipping and they're moving a lot of money. That's the only reason I need. But crypto staking and lending platform Celsius may be dealing with this rumored liquidity crisis by unstaking $247 million worth of wrap with $247 million worth of wrap Bitcoin from Aave and sending it to the FTX exchange. Speculations among the crypto community are now flaring as the project has been moving massive amounts of wrap Bitcoin, Ether, and other crypto assets, in addition to pausing withdrawals for users. Here's the thing, people. This is the best part about bear markets, and when things start to dive quickly like this, literally the entire market gets audited. Every protocol, every stable coin, every business. People, it is tough. Listen, you're about to see it right now. I saw somebody in the chat already put Coinbase was just talking about laying off 18% of his employees. A few years ago during the 2018-2019 bear market, we saw Consensus, Coinbase, like literally everyone across the board, mass layoffs across the board. That is this market. One day you're getting some money, next day you're not. But this is a great time to audit the space, not only from a business perspective, but from a protocol perspective. And again, for those who don't know about these lending platforms, some of the most popular are BlockFi, Celsius, and Nexo. And essentially what they do is say, hey, if you stake your crypto on this platform, essentially, if you leave your value, if you leave your money on our website, then you can make money in the process. Loads of it, right? Some platforms say you can make anywhere between 20 to 30%, as Bitcoin Zay just mentioned. So 30% on your money a year on these platforms. So that's, of course, appealing to people, especially those who see it as stable. But if you bought the masterclass, we actually went over this briefly. I'll say this. And I looked at the video again the other day. I was like, let me just make sure we went over this. I was like, yeah, we went over this. It's like we literally went over these same platforms and talked about the good, the positives, the pros, and the cons. And one of the things with the cons that I mentioned in the masterclass, so here's some free game for people who are listening. You're not actually staking your crypto on these platforms. Now, there are a couple of them. I think Exodus, for one, you could stake Solana or at one time. You probably still can. Who knows? But I know when you're staking your Solana on Exodus, initially, it would take like 6 to 8 hours, 12 hours to get off of that stake. So as soon as you click unstake, you're not getting your value back because it's actually being staked on the protocol somewhere. I make that mention because just because they're saying you're staking it on these platforms, you might not actually be doing it. They might actually have a percentage worked down in their backend algorithms of what they can pay you for leaving your capital on that platform. So even though you're on Celsius, on BlockFi, whatever, on the front end, and you're saying I'm staking in this and doing that or doing whatever, on the back end, it may not be happening like that in its entirety. For one, I would say because if it were, it wouldn't be so easy just to start moving money and liquidating things off of Aave into other places if everyone was actually truly staked and the platform didn't control it. So you're already seeing these centralized mechanisms that exist with these platforms, but even worse, now your capital is stuck on this platform when they're going through a liquidity crisis. This is crazy to see, but I mean, is this the end of Celsius? What do you say?
Oh yeah. So one keyword, if you don't know it already, we said it a few times, rehypothecation. If you don't know what rehypothecation is, banks have been doing it for years. That means you put your money, like you said, it looks like your money is in there, but on the back end, they're taking your money and investing it in something else that's giving them higher rates. They make 10, 12%, they give you 2%, just for example. Celsius is doing the same thing. So what happens when the market crashes on their end? They can't really pay back their customers, so they pause withdrawals. And of course, that's a part of fractional reserve lending or fractional reserve banking in general. So as far as Celsius, they do like to have liquidity problems. They basically, I call it, you got Mashinsky at this point because there was a few things wrong with Celsius from the beginning. The first was, of course, when you have a high APY, you got to have people's money when people come back to cash out, not sustainable. Also, too, whenever you talk about any lending platform, you want to basically have the transparency, which they did at first, because Mashinsky would have a show like once a week, but his show yesterday, all of a sudden, he lost his voice. So that's what I'm saying. Like, as soon as he got to come to the table and actually say what happened, he just happened to lose his voice the same day.
I can't talk right now. I'm gonna holler at y'all later.
Oh God. So yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Also, there was a few other signs that I want to show, that basically Celsius wasn't it wasn't going to succeed long term. So yeah, here's one tweet, frozen. But also too, one thing I've noticed, Mashinsky said, you are afraid to debate in public settings to debunk all your conspiracy theories. 30% of all Bitcoin is lost because people listened to you and Bitcoin maxis and kept their own keys. Celsius network with over 150,000 Bitcoin did not lose any Bitcoins to lost wallets or attacks. And look at that date, May 15th. My man flew too close to the sun, as they say, like Icarus. I don't care how successful you think your project is. When you start coming for Bitcoin, bad things.
Right, it always happens, right?
It just always happens. I don't know why, but it just seems like it always happens when people come out to Bitcoin. Because of course, I say no keys, no cheese. We've been talking about this. But of course, he was saying, well, we're responsible. We can hold your keys, and it's gone. So again, we can't say it enough, people. If you don't know about rehypothecation, fractional reserve banking, and also how some of these crypto exchanges are just built on sand, their foundation is not solid, then you'll see why. Also, Cell token went down 40% in one day. It's not looking good, people. And I love these price drops. Just clean out the trash, get out all of the terrible products, all the loan products. And again, they were trying to say they were DeFi, when in reality, this was, like we always say, CDeFi, centralized, decentralized finance, baby. That's the new innovation.
There it is. And per usual, Celsius,
and it's gone. Everyone, listen up. You didn't lose your money. Now you have your, technically you kind of lost your money.
Ain't no technically, people. Check out them terms and services. They can use your money as collateral as well if they become insolvent, just like Coinbase. So and it's gone.
And it is gone. Really quick, I was trying to look for where I actually brought up the, hold on, let me see. It is funny too, because if you've been following this story, people, it looks like Nexo actually asked to, or Nexo suggested they could buy out Celsius if they were having issues, whatever, which I thought was like hilarious. People like, so if you don't know, some of the main ones were BlockFi, Celsius, and Nexo. But okay, you can see the video, right, Zay? Staking video.
Yeah. Yep.
So here's the staking video in the masterclass, folks. I just want to show you how funny it is that actually Nexo was talking about buying them. Let's see if, let me cancel this out so you can actually hear it. Let me put the sound on. Let's see.
Yeah.
Nexo to the Rexu, right? Here it is.
Boom. I was gonna say it actually works now, but no, it still doesn't work. The majority.
This is me in the actual masterclass, folks, trying to cover staking on these platforms for you. And this is me going to the Nexo website in the masterclass.
These platforms, because like Nexo, as I tried to get ready to review this, I clicked on it and it, boom, I was gonna say it actually works now, but no, it still doesn't work. I haven't been able to get on this website for over an hour now, people, right? If I was actually staking on here, if I had value locked on here, if I was doing any type of APY, I would be pissed off. I would be pissed and I would be scared to know what happened to my funds. Now, sometimes this happens when websites come under attack from.
So this is literally the company who's reaching out to Celsius right now. Like, hey, y'all having some liquidity problems? We can buy everything above y'all. Nexo, y'all wasn't even working for the masterclass.
Like I said, built on sand. You got one terrible project built on top of another one that's unstable. This is what you get.
Hey, you know what, people, and to be clear, this is why, especially now, I'm popping more than ever, and I want to make sure these predictions, good, better, or ugly, are being known, recorded, and clipped. Because you do have all these other channels and stuff out there talking crypto and Bitcoin, this and the other. And this is like, let's see the track record. Like, I get it, the hype. I mean, do we need to stir the 22,000% APY pot? Just get some followers? What's going on here?
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. All right. What else is going on in the news besides Celsius? New York City mayor is back in the news. He said, listen, I said I rep and I'm going to rep it. New York City Mayor Eric Adams speaks out against proof of work mining ban legislation. What's going on with the mayor of New York City?
Oh, yeah. So New York City's Mayor Eric Adams spoke out Monday against a bill just one step away from effectively banning Bitcoin mining in the state for the next 2 years. So the bill is designed to place a 2-year moratorium on proof of work crypto miners who do not use 100% renewable energy. At the same time, New York State's environmental agency is investigating the effects of mining on the environment. The bill passed on June 3rd in the state assembly, and they're waiting for Governor Kathy Hochul's signature to become law. So Mayor Adam, he sat down with Cranes on Monday, and he intends to request that they veto the bill due to the economic damage it will cause the state's people. So Mayor Adams, as they say here, a frequent proponent of the crypto industry, accepting Bitcoin for salary, trying to introduce new programs. And of course, that may have helped fuel him to get the mayorship, but it will be hard to go against New York, the state, simply because of mining, because I think this is what they want to get to push through. But we said this, we was like, he has an uphill battle. You got to go against the big boys, the institutions, they right down the street. So good luck if you can, but at the same time, it's going to be tough to convince the governor not to sign it when they talk about 100% renewable energy. So yeah, I think this is a knee-jerk reaction, and shout out to my boy Tolu, who's actually meeting with Eric Adams today. So I'm about to text him and say, hey, make sure they get this pushed out, or New York they're gonna lose so much money over the years, it's gonna be ridiculous, and all the miners are just gonna go somewhere else. They're gonna go to Texas, watch, Texas and Florida. Come on down to Miami.
This may be how New York loses Manhattan. And what I mean by that, I'm trying to see if I can
I Am Legend.
You said what's that?
This is the start of I Am Legend. First, they get rid of all the crypto stuff, the banks go away, and then next thing you know, you got grass growing on your tall buildings, and Will Smith talking to himself in a video store.
Well, another reason, not only that, I mean, people, I'm telling you, it might look like a down market. Here's what somebody put me on game when I first moved to LA. I was like, I'm waiting for the housing market to drop so I can scoop me up like a multi-million-dollar house for not as many. I want a $5 to $7 million house for like 3 to 4, like 2 to 4 million if it's possible, right? But this came out yesterday on Instagram as well as LA Mag, and everybody was laughing like, look at the timing of this. I'm like, no, that's what you're not understanding. Like the LA housing market, what I unfortunately found out was that the prices don't really change like that as far as the wealthier houses, because people was like, bruh, people with money have money forever out here. Like they not all of a sudden not having money because of a market type of deal, especially with their entertainment. I bring that up because of this story. This is a out of left field really quick. I just want to show this story, Zay. When we talk about New York pushing people out, this is what I mean by they're going to end up losing Manhattan. This is what's going on in Los Angeles right now. Los Angeles Magazine, Crypto Maniacs, how cash poor LA millennials are buying $1 million homes. People, according to a recent Redfin study, almost 12% of all first-time home buyers reported selling cryptocurrency to make a down payment on a house, a trend that Nurit Combs said is poised to explode in Los Angeles. We're seeing a number of these people cashing out virtual assets or starter homes that go anywhere from 1 to 4 million, says the managing partner at the agency who specializes in these transactions. They say, one thing I really want to point out by this as well, of course, they mentioned CEO of Coinbase buying that Bel Air estate for $133 million. But this is what I really want to point out, because again, actually, we can say number 4, called the fourth thing. These are people mostly under 35 who may not even have a job or income to qualify for a loan. What they do have is tons of cash, mostly in Bitcoin or Ethereum, and suddenly that's giving them access to an asset that's anything but virtual. How many times have I mentioned to you all, I am speaking from experience, not just I think or maybe or opinion. I'm speaking from experience that the credit system is already dead. If you don't want to be on it, you don't have to. Do you need to be liquid and have some paper? Yes, but you don't have to be on the system. I've been in LA for years, people, and trust me, like I used to have amazing credit. I kind of wrecked it unintentionally, but intentionally. I fixed it already, but I got into beef. I got into bad beef with a credit company, basically. But long story short, that's another story for another day. It was actually pretty hilarious. I never was worried, and it worked out. But my point is that this is what I've been screaming to people. You don't need credit. You don't need all people. Well, where can you set Bitcoin? Where you can do that? Blah, blah, blah. Again, I'm telling you from experience, from being in luxury places out here and bouncing around and doing all this stuff. All you have to do is talk to the owner, manager, or whatever, and be like, hey, my criminal record's clean. Go ahead and do my criminal background check. I'm into crypto. There's new industry, but I'm liquid. Here are bank statements. Here's X, Y, and Z. How much do you need up front? And I guarantee
if you got enough money, they don't even care about criminal record. They don't even care about criminal record if you got enough money.
Some spots, if you got the money,
you paying 50% up front. All right, bet we don't give a damn what you do.
People
at this house.
I was just so excited to actually see this article because again, the pushback. A lot of people are like, look at the market now, da da da. I'm like, finally, LA is understanding what's happening right now. Like, people, I'm telling you, they're changing it. They are changing. They're changing. Like Bitcoin's, they said, you got the money up front. Nothing else really matters, especially when you're talking about going after $1 million or $4 million property and being like, no, I got 30, I got 50%, I got 80% of what? I'm not trying to pay monthly. Like when people come in like that, nothing else matters. So again, shout out to LA Magazine for covering that story. I thought that was pretty cool, especially since, I mean, we literally fall in that we fall in that demographic under 35 who may not have like an actual job or whatever. You can't get the credit or the loan. And but hey, you do have you may or may not have liquidity. So that's pretty cool, I thought, to see as well. All right, Binance.US faces class action lawsuit over Luna and UST sale. That is right. This is crazy. I thought the lawsuit could be the first of many for US listed crypto exchanges that offered Luna or UST to customers. Extortion, 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 gang, gang, gang. And back to what we said, I'm like 105% sure now that regulators and politicians lost money in the Luna thing, people. There is no other reason for them to be going this hard for this. If that's the case, just off rip, are we going to be doing this for Dogecoin? Are we going to be doing this for BitConnect? Like, are you going to be going after every exchange who listed these things as sale? And if so, this is super unfair. It's crazy to see. But again, they're talking about Binance US, of course, a sister company of global crypto exchange Binance, is facing a class action lawsuit from investors for the sale of Luna and Terra USD. Also from investors. Oh, crying to mommy and daddy again. Wow. A group. I mean, hey, you could have watched
unregistered securities when you bought them. Huh? They weren't unregistered securities when you bought them.
You know what I'm saying?
Now they are.
Listen, I want to get this entire investor list, and like for BitConnect, this one, Dogecoin, so on and so forth. I want to get these lists and say who told you? Who told you? Because if you don't know shit about shit, who told you about Terra? Who was the person? What was the channel? And this is what self-regulation actually looks like. We're talking about regulation. Let's talk about self-regulation. Who is pointing you to Terra and Luna? But a group of investors filed a class action lawsuit in the Northern District of California on Monday, alleging that Binance sold unregistered securities in the form of Luna and UST to investors and misled them into buying them. Oh, this is cold-blooded. This misled them. The lawsuit alleged that Binance.US is not registered as a broker-dealer in the U.S. and thus clearly violates U.S. security laws. The plaintiffs in the case accused the crypto exchange of knowingly promoting a flawed project in which the parent company had invested earlier. Listen, Binance's job isn't to be your investment advisor. It's an exchange. But the lawsuit also accused the crypto exchange of false advertising, pointing toward its claims of UST being fiat-backed, which was redacted after the collapse. Again, we mentioned this many times over. These exchanges will literally change the terms of service overnight. We have seen it happen. I have screenshots of major exchanges changing terms of service overnight when we caught them in lies, like literally overnight, people. I have screenshots. It happens. Binance's U.S. failure to comply with the securities laws and its false advertisements of UST have led to disastrous consequences for Binance. U.S. customers, said this lawsuit. One thing I want to point out to all of you out there, and I know it's not a lot of people on our channel, but we're starting to share these on LinkedIn and stuff. I know this is the LinkedIn and professional crowd. You're always trying to mitigate your losses and not lose any money in a new market. Stay your ass on the sideline. Listen, if you come in the game, I play football. If you enter the game, you're getting hit. All right, you're going to get touched up. It ain't no way I'm on the field or my homies on the field with you, nobody getting dirty. We all about to be busted up.
So
right? That's how you win the game. You got to hit people to get some wins. All right. Same with this market. Here is the problem with all of these folks, all these bootlickers. Hold on, let me get this sound going. Let me get the Here's the problem with all these Ned Flanders going to run to mommy and daddy government when things don't go their way. Once the new project comes out that you do like, that is actually working, that you want, that has this 80 to 100 and 500%, or even a paltry 13% APY or whatever. Once these projects come out and you're not smart enough to do a cross-atomic swap or go on a DeFi platform or Uniswap or something like that to trade or swap into this project, and you need an exchange, because let's not kid ourselves. The people who are on these lawsuits are the people using the exchanges who are noobs. Why are you still using the exchanges to begin with? So these same people are going to be crying to the government that is not fair. They can't get their hands on Dogecoin to $1, or they can't get their hands on the next Terra Luna that's giving you 20 or 40% a month for a year before it does eventually collapse. Some people did make away like bandits. Now, you won't even be able to have access to that, and then you'll be crying again about how do I get this, or why isn't this allowed, or so on and so forth. This is why self-regulation is important. If you lost money in this space, it means you probably didn't do a good enough job researching. And again, we know some people who've been in this space for 4 or 5 years who lost money in Terra. So it happens, people. Like, it happens across the board. But come on, to go run to the government over it, to file a lawsuit against an exchange for offering a project that you wanted. Come on,
bro.
Come on. Yeah, that's like, let me sue the gas station for selling me pop, soda, and cigarettes and donuts and everything unhealthy. Why didn't you tell me that this fruit drink didn't have real juice in it? Why didn't you tell me this fruit drink has sugar in it and I got diabetes? Like, where does it stop? Like, you're not like, they're doing it in the crypto market because they see so much money and everybody sees the easy W. But this is ridiculous. What are your thoughts?
It is ridiculous. This reminds me of when you're out playing basketball, playing football with your friends. You're out there cussing, having a good time, and then one person gets hit too hard, and then they go cry to their parents. So then their parents show up, and now the game isn't fun anymore. And this is exactly what's happening. These people are going to cry and try and get a lawsuit for this particular crypto, but it sets a dangerous precedent, because now the game isn't going to be fun anymore. There's going to be a bunch of unregistered securities. If Terra is found as one, a bunch of more are coming. They're going to get wiped off. I wonder how this is going to.
That's the thing. Yeah, Terra.
I mean, exactly. This is going to affect the whole market, because every time a coin collapses, you can't go to court for it. This is the Wild West still, people. We got 19,000 cryptocurrencies. I think 99% will be gone at some point. But I don't think that going and suing every time helps. You just set a dangerous precedent, and now the game won't be fun anymore. Goodbye volatility. Hello stability and regulations, because they're going to use this as an excuse to do it. I promise you. They're going to say,
it's
hey,
happening.
What happened with this? Yeah, this is why we came in and had to fix it, because there was too many scams. It was rife with, Ponzi scheme and whatever else. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But unfortunately, this is what we're dealing with.
And shadowy hooded crypto criminals. Really quick, want to go to the comments. Super Mario. Who's going 11 Super Mario said, what's up with OK Coin Exchange not letting me profit off that Miami coin pump last week? I'm not sure what's going on with them. Send us an email and let us know, though. We do have the ear of a couple of them. So we'll figure it out. One thing, shout out to that. I saw a couple people on Twitter. That was a Thursday show I missed, I believe. But yeah, for those who were in Miami coin, still down from when we first suggested to become a stakeholder. But I did see it went up about 90-something% last week. Did it stay at that, or did it fall back already?
It fell back like 60%. So
okay, yeah, well, still it was a 90% pump for those who.
No, it was like a 200% pump. Yeah.
Was it 200% pump?
Yeah, something like that.
I called it. I saw that 90. Goodness gracious, well, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see. With Reno Gamble for sure. So thanks for another show. Doing the real work. Thanks for the support and joining, of course. Let's see. Ocean, we about to talk about you, Ocean, with this USDD next year. I already know. Ocean said, I'm here shaking it at the bingo spot, trying to get some extra money to buy some Bitcoin. There we go. What else do we have? Big discounts across the board. You already know it. And Cario, what's up? Let's see. I'm going through some of these comments. I see a ton of them being sent in. Jake Fever said there's blood on the streets. You know it, folks. Of course, check out Bitcoin Behind the Bar tonight as well. Jake Fever Tuesday nights.
Dope show. Dope show. Super dope.
Dope show. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Let's see. DCA, yes, dollar cost average. All right. I see a bunch of comments rolling in. We'll get to it in a second. Somebody said One United Bank is trash. Black owned doesn't mean janky business. LOL. Oh, is that the One United Bank? Is that what it was?
Yeah. Remember I went to go speak with them in 2017, and they were like, buddy, slow down. We can't be getting into stuff like Bitcoin. This is 2017, so this is before the pump, before everything. This was early. This is when I first got to LA. That's one of the first places I went, but they weren't trying to hear it, but here they are. Like I said, everybody's gonna capitulate.
Next row leader said our platform was first. We the Ray J of crypto. You already know it. Just informed you said BitBoy gets a lot of criticism, but he's good for the space. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's good for the space as far as it being a base hit, like to bring people into this space. And then from there, they can find, you know, the rabbit hole to go where they want to go. It's always a good thing. Quick Dolo, your audience deserves to learn about Cardano. Well, Quick Dolo, feel free to send us email, and you could hold down the Cardano sector of our channel, and we would love to have you here for the next 14 months. Call it, hey, chalk it up. Cardano dies in 2023, folks. You heard it here first. Okay.
Let us know when y'all give us more money to Africans.
Oh, you say what?
When y'all give us more money to the Africans, we'll have the Cardano people on.
Oh man. Only real estate said EYO like getting them folks on there to give misinformation. BitBoy is saying Ethereum is going to flip Bitcoin in the marketplace. Jake said the EYO interview with BitBoy was good for people who don't know shit about money or Bitcoin. That's majority of people. They're not going to let the real ones on there steal their viewers with the real. And you know, that's crazy. I kind of think that not just with them, but with a few different platforms in general, everybody's like, we don't want people to come in and steal. And it's like, people, have you not seen the way we do our business? Like, we love to share. We're never trying to steal nothing. Like we said before, you know, only thing I've said about them where I really don't pay attention is because they're talking about the traditional market. Like I truly believe crypto will be the future of all markets. So I just don't see for me, there's no point in the traditional market, but I don't know, to each his own. I could care less. I do realize that though, a lot of people do feel like we're going to steal the thunder. That's cool. It's really not a choice. Like, they don't get it.
We've been on plenty of shows where they talk about stuff, and I mean, we know what Boyce Watkins, Fox Soul,
come on,
a few other shows. You were on Dr. Phil.
It really ain't a choice.
I've been on a bunch of stuff. We don't care about stealing the thunder from people. Like it's just if you ask a question and it's against what you said, then you need to fix what you talk about. But
yeah, I mean, we're just trying to provide real information and value and education. And I mean, I don't know. I don't really care. Like I said, I know we've been officially blackballed. You can't ball my black balls or something. I don't know what the saying was. I don't listen to that rapper no more. It's rapping ass. It's your rapping ass. I don't listen to that rapping ass fool no more.
Oh yeah.
I like the more when you serve that work personally, but whatever. Your rapping ass. All right. USDD stablecoin falls to 97 cents. Dow surged 700 million to defend the peg. I mean, we've kind of seen this recently, but let's talk about it again. Analytics platform Nasdaq showed that one of the funds that capitalized on the USDD peg has started to transfer large amounts of USDD. I mean, of course, we do have Ocean has been talking about this a bit, but while the market has not fully recovered, of course, from the onslaught caused by Terra, DPEG and other stablecoin projects show signs of distress, causing fears and speculation within the community. Stablecoin protocols USDD price dipped to 97 cents on major crypto platforms on Monday. And again, Tether did something similar, but we weren't as worried about Tether because they've been established and this has happened so many times. But when you have a brand new one, it is time to kind of pay attention. It looks like CurveSwap's, a bot that monitors the large asset transfers, flagged that $1 million of USDD was recently swapped to 997,339 worth of USDT. Again, people, this is the red flag for me because you can't have a stable coin being backed by another stable coin, especially when the other stable coin has its own issues as well. It looks like, on the other hand, blockchain analytics platform Nasdaq has also detected that one of the funds that capitalized on the USDD peg has started actively transferring larger amounts of USDD and other stable coins. And you can see this tweet here. I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, I think writing's on the wall again. Shout out to Ocean. I'm sure he'll cover it, but what are your thoughts?
Yes, the good old stablecoin backed by a stablecoin backed by a project that nobody cares about because their reserves are at about 92%. However, Tron has so much reserves in USDD. If you took away Tron, they'd only have 73% of the capital that they claim to have. And again, one day people will learn about stablecoins. Use them if you need them, but do not rely on them long term because again, it's sand built on top of sand, built on top of some bullshit, built on top of something else. So hopefully people learn from USDT. Also, Deuce Finance, they also failed to maintain their peg. I believe algorithmic stablecoins or stablecoins in general, they're gonna have a tough time in this market because a lot of people are starting to come for their money at the same time. And that's the only way to really run a bank is that you can basically guarantee everybody's not going to show up at the same time. And even if they do, they're going to shut down the bank. They're going to shut down operations. They're going to have error 501, like we saw with Nexo if you go to the website. So yeah, it's pretty hard at this point, but whoever makes it through, that's who's going to be here at the end.
Yeah. And someone's asked about Nexo. Yeah, I mean, basically Nexo in relation to Celsius, those are very similar platforms as well. But this is crazy. Again, here's the thing, people. You all are forgetting Bitcoin is only 13. It's only 13. What more do you want from me? Like, y'all, we want Bitcoin to bring home money, the food, support a family. This is a 13-year-old in the 1840s, apparently. Like, no, this is 2022 and he's 13 years old. They are 13 years old. I say that because before you can start, to me, in my opinion, before you can start having all these algorithmic coins and stable coins and it's backed by this and it's backed by another, Bitcoin itself has to mature because it still runs the market, people. It has to mature. And by maturation, in my opinion, means adoption. There has to be at least, I think, 5 very large countries or a very large percent of the population start to, if not actually use it or acquire it, it has to be the back. Once banks say, all right, this is what we're going to use as a reserve. Once businesses say we're going to keep this as a reserve. Once it's that big, then I think you can start saying, all right, we're comfortable with using this as a reserve. Or we're comfortable having an algo stablecoin or something tethered to this or something like it, because once the price, once that mass adoption has happened and that price is 300, 400, something K or whatever, you won't see a dip to these levels and cause as much stress. It will still cause stress to companies who are doing business in the billions, where they're looking at, we got billions of dollars this on the table, and then Bitcoin goes from 150K to 100, then it'll cause them stress. But for some of the smaller projects, on smaller algorithmic coins and stuff, it won't affect it as much once it begins to reach those price points at that time. But until we get there, it's way too volatile, in my opinion. Going back to the comments really quick. Let's see. Too Rich to Miss was going on. PFC Wells said the writing was on the wall after Miami Bitcoin conference. I felt the energy too, but I wasn't sure. Wasn't that a little too much?
Yeah,
like everybody was dead after. Everybody was dead after it.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the top signals as well. Yeah, it was like, yeah, we were pretty much going to see some downside after this. And then consensus confirmed it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Kid Grebo1, thank you for the tip. Is Steph on Lido a solid move? I'm not sure about Steph. You familiar with Steph on Lido?
I am not. However, again, when you say, is it the right move? Just look at some of the projects that are similar to it. See the good, see the bad, and do your research definitely into the team and who the founder is. Make sure they didn't rebrand from some other shitty project in the past.
There we go. And I'll save that comment too and probably take a peek at it just so I can have an idea what that is. Only the real estate said Mayor Adams is the trans of Bitcoin. How are you for Bitcoin but not proof of mine? You all are hilarious. Let's see. Just inform you said, what's the average price for a nice home in Los Angeles? I mean,
at least $1 million. You ain't getting anything less than $1 million.
Yeah,
2 if you want to be safe.
It's crazy, people. And honestly, I've been thinking about it more, to be fair. I told Zay this. I've been thinking about Texas and Florida more because I'm like, look, yeah, $1 million won't get you far here. $1 million could still have some bad neighbors and your car windows get broken into, like dead ass. So I'm just like,
houses in the hood, $1 million.
Right. Yeah. So it's just like, if it's going to be $1 million, should I do it in a different state where it makes sense and you save tax money? Just inform you, say, got to hear this credit story. And Reno Gamble said, I'm sensitive about the credit score. Listen, trust me, it's a funny story. Long story short, this is me. I was young. Listen, people, I was young with a little bit of dough. Remember, I was a naval officer. I had a little bit of money early on. So I've had the what's a platinum card, American Express, and all that. Long story short, the story is they never told me when the money would be due. All right. And I took it personal after so many years of business. They was like, we need this money now. I was like, well, you get your money when I give it to you. That's essentially what happened. And then
and then they were like, okay.
Yeah. And then they were like, okay, you want to play that game? And I learned all about the system. Nothing bad happened because I'm glad I went through it and learned it. But we had a little side beef because things weren't clearly written out in my contract, I felt. But we're cool. American Express, we cool. They know we cool with each other. We back on good terms. They just wanted to make sure I still had it. We all good. Let's see. Jake Fever said, y'all ass talk shit on the internet. You ain't got no job. That's my dream job. One major pump away. There it is, folks. Which makes sense then because Duquan is funneling out the millions. There was side money actually being put in. Oh, okay. There it is. All right, last couple of stories. I know we're going a little bit over. Got to talk about this Axie Infinity. They came out with this last week. So here's the thing. Axie Infinity is shooting the market in the foot by making themselves look like a scam. But I'm going to stick with this article and go with disaster. $1 billion crypto gaming startup promised riches and delivered disaster. Axie Infinity's vision of play to earn video game has crumbled, and the company behind it now tells the players who bought into the hype it was never about the money anyway. So this is what's making them a scam, which making them look like a scam. They were a play to earn game. If you haven't heard of that, of course, you can play a game, earn crypto on it. They were huge in South America in some spots. I know that the biggest were in Philippines, to the extent that the Philippine president and government even considered levying a tax against it because people were making so much money. It costs about $1,000 to start up. You need about 3 different characters. At the time when we first covered Axie Infinity, I think it was about 300 or some change per character. So it took about, with gas fees, about $1,000 some like $1,200 to actually start on this game. And then as people continue, they can make money on it, right? Play to earn.
Oh, yeah.
But since they crashed, of course, the crash I think was really what's the word I was going to look for? Not motivated, enhanced. What's the word I'm looking for? The impetus of the crash came from the Ronin hack, of course, $630 million. That was on this network. I think that really affected the game dynamics as far as money they had in storage to play around with. In addition to that Ronin hack, then a month later, you get Terra going down the whole market. And now you have the team coming out saying, this was never a play to earn game. And it's like, come on, you can't say that, come out and say it wasn't a play to earn. That's making it look like a scam. The reason why I'm not fully calling it a scam is because here's the deal. Like, if we're going to call things a scam in this space, you can literally call every project but Bitcoin a scam right now. Like literally, Zay did it one day on a fuck Bitcoin Friday where he just went down the entire list of the top 20 or 30 and talked shit about each one except Bitcoin. People, Ethereum, you're still working on it, right? Like you can literally go down the list and get started. Cardano, Africa, Dogecoin to $1. I'm not even about to do it part 2 of this Bitcoin thing. But I say that because just because it didn't turn out like they want and it did end in a disaster doesn't mean they intended to scam, especially when it starts to work as far as you have an actual community behind the game, you have liquidity, you have money where you can now actually build more things around the game, more components, more mechanisms to make this actually work and be a real vision. But for them to go through tribulation or wherever in trials, as you can see here, and this game turns to disaster, and then come back out and say it was never a play to earn. Now this is a bad look on the entire space as a whole. And again, we're talking about Axie Infinity here and how they came out after this game disaster saying that we were never here to actually play to earn. We were just here to play and you could actually earn at the same time. What are your thoughts on this entire fiasco, I guess?
Oh, yeah. Well, my thoughts, I actually shared them on Twitter. Let me share it right here so people can see. A few days before this even came out, I actually shared this because one of the main things that people don't understand is whenever you're in this market long enough, you can see it coming. So if you can see what's the next bubble, play to earn, run to earn, sing to earn, learn to earn, strip to earn, or you could just get a job and get paid in Bitcoin, which is much easier. Just buy some Bitcoin and then take a nap. So the reason I put that is because I could see this coming because the point of saying play to earn, but you have to actually pay a bunch of money up front. Same thing that's happening with Steppen right now. Same thing that happened with Axie Infinity. Same thing that's happening with most of these games. To access most of the games, it takes a few $1,000s, or you got to be super early, like one of the first people, insider. But again, this is forming into a bubble. It's too much hype around it. with no actual infrastructure for how these things work. Because I haven't seen any of these work like long term because they're just getting started. However, that's looking like the next blank to earn is looking like the next bubble. And again, we might be 5-0 this year, King, if this comes to fruition over the next few months. And this may be the start. Axie Infinity may be the start because this was one of the biggest play to earn games there was. So we'll see what other games say. It'll be like, well, it was play to maybe earn. That'll be the new one.
It's gonna be. But listen, that's what we always say. People, it's like you do this and then hey, shout out to Wendy Nichols too. I meant to reshare it, but I had just posted a show, so I didn't want to flood the Twitter time. How's this work? You gotta tell me, like when you do tweets, can you ever do too many? Is it like it's like 3 different ones at one time? It's too many tweets, right?
I think they still got Twitter jail. I don't know. They used
I
to
mean,
have Twitter
no,
jail.
not Twitter jail, but as far as like, is that just too like, will people read all or consume all, or will they just like, all right, you gotta do one every hour? How's that work? Do I need to give some space?
Give them like 1 or 2 or 3 at a time, and then give them some space, give them a few hours to digest. Because the algorithm too, people won't see it sometimes until later or until the next day. It's a weird algorithm. Like I keep seeing the same people. I don't see a lot of people I follow.
Well, if you all missed it, I saw it on Wendy Nichols. Shout out to Wendy Nichols. I need to repost it. But it was the Wolf of Wall Street part. He's like, and they did that except for crypto. I said they were talking about DAOs. He was like, the goal is to move to get the liquidity out the DAO. And so he was like, but isn't it good as the DAO and everybody makes money? No, fuck that. No, this is like they literally did a Wolf of Wall Street version of crypto. It was pretty good. So
I got it right here. I got it right here. Yeah,
it's pretty long though, so I don't know how long we get. It's like
I was gonna try and see if I can fast forward it.
It's teasing. I just want to hear the part when we saw at the very beginning when we saw about the DAO liquidities. That's hilarious to me.
Yeah, hold on. I got it here.
Did you share the sound on the Zoom?
I'd say incredibly excited to be part of DAO. I mean, the community built is absolutely fuck the community. Your only responsibility is to get the liquidity on the table. You got a girlfriend? No, I'm engaged. My fiance, Sunmi, she's a blockchain dev.
Hey, check that out, folks. That's good.
Yeah, check that out. Yeah, that's what it's like. Fuck the community. Your job is to get the liquidity.
So my point is that's basically what's happening. And in that thing, the reason why I brought that up, folks, is he did have this part where he was just like, after this project, then there's the next project. He was like, then there's an NFT, then there's a layer 2. He started going to all that as Bitcoins, they pointed out. So, that's what I kind of see what's happening as well. Some quick comments. Reno Gambo said we're all Bitcoin maximalists with side coins. It's pretty hilarious. Everybody's talking about what year they were in Bitcoin, 2004, 1964, blah, blah, blah. Giovanni, yeah, we talked about it earlier. We saw the EYL and BitBoy crypto partnership. That's what's up. Let's see. What else do we have? Okay. We'll get some more. All right. Last story, certainly not least. This isn't even a story we're really going to go deep into. I just want to talk about the headline. JPMorgan wants to bring trillions of dollars of tokenized assets to DeFi. That is right. JPMorgan, ran by Dinosaur Diamond, Jamie, who, of course, back in 2017 said that Bitcoin was a fraud for criminals and all this other stuff, and North Koreans, of course, retracted those statements later, then got into Bitcoin, has his own blockchain now and all this other stuff. Again, they're trying to steal a narrative, and now they want to bring trillions of dollars to tokenized assets to DeFi. Why am I covering this story? Because to JP Morgan Chase, and shame to Zay's friends over at Coinbase, Ian Allison. Shame, Ian Allison, CoinDesk, and JP Morgan. Why? Because of this. Let's see. I'm just trying to find the statement. Here it is. Institutional DeFi. If it's even freaking possible.
That's not even, what the hell is that?
Jumbo shrimp. Slow cheetah. I don't know. Institutional DeFi generally, and I love how they say generally. What that's what I love about Bitcoin, people, and crypto as a whole. Zeros and ones. You're talking about technology. You're talking about code, bits. There is no generally. It's what the code does or doesn't do. It's what the contract does or doesn't do. So there is no possibly, somewhat, kind of. So you're saying it doesn't, but whatever. Institutional DeFi generally means imposing know your customer structures on crypto's permissionless lending pools, which has started to happen in pockets of innovation such as Aave Arc, as well as in recently announced project involving CM Commercial Bank and Compound Treasury. You don't impose know your customer on DeFi. That is the point of decentralized finance. is that it's decentralized. You don't need know your customer because it's spread out across so many different nodes. But literally, this to me is changing the narrative. They are trying to tell you what actual DeFi is now. CD5, if you ever called it Bitcoin today, that's crazy.
CD5, baby. Centralized, decentralized finance. It's coming soon. They're going to use it as a buzzword, and it's going to have the exact same protocols they had before. Trash. Garbage. I told you everybody was at consensus. They said that at the consensus at the conference. They were talking about that. So, yeah, even institutional people showing up. That's why I said that was one of the big things there.
That's crazy. Oh, well, I just want to point that out that JPMorgan's trying to squeeze back in. Last few quick comments. Friends haven't been able to buy Miami coin for 2 weeks. You know anything about this?
Volume 2 upgrade may have prevented it. You just want to check and make sure you're using the Volume 2 wallet. If you can't get it on OKCoin, you can purchase stacks on Hero, and then you can actually use that on Hero in order to earn Miami coin. So that's the only place you can buy it right now, but I think the upgrade is what's messing it up. Just give it some time.
People keep talking about EYO. I'm laughing because people keep talking about EYO. I thought they were for the culture. Listen, I don't know. I can't speak for no people, but that's why I don't be trying to hear all that for the culture and all that talk. And someone else says, hold on. There are a few people are still talking about this right now. I'm looking at these last couple.
Everybody for the culture till you disagree.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yeah. You don't got no viewers. PFC Wellsy EYL interview indicates BitBoy has a growing Black presence in his audience, or it was a move to expand his Black and brown. No, I don't think it was anything like that. I won't even say Black and brown. Trek. It was literally he got over 1 million followers. He's in the finances and he has people with capital. They have a big following. They're in the finances. They got people with capital. Literally, that is the beginning and ending of that conversation of how it happened right there. I don't think it had anything to do with Black or brown or none of that at all. I think I even seen some Twitter exchanges between them as far as them getting on each other's show. So I think it literally was just audience type of stuff. Let's see. Somebody said, I didn't know Terra made another stable coin. Damn, just informing you where you've been the last 2 or 3 weeks. We've been talking about it.
You see Terra 2.0? Upgraded, unstable coin.
Oh, man. We got any last announcements? Bitcoin Day, really quick. What were your thoughts on the Jay-Z, Jack, Marcy projects? I know you talked to Jack and his company a few times. They got the Marcy Projects Academy. You don't have to go crazy. I went crazy for you because I ain't like the shit. I didn't like the name you mentioned, but what were your thoughts on it?
Oh, yeah. Well, the idea definitely came from myself over a year ago.
So, so I didn't lie. That wasn't me just talking shit.
Nah, it was definitely my idea from a year ago. As far as I'm setting it up, I didn't want to teach in New York, but also too, there was some tweets that I had that apparently Jay-Z didn't like. Some people at Cash App might have sent Jack, I don't know, whatever. But I knew this announcement was coming for 3 months. What they did was they had to push it back. So Naja and Lamar, they'll teach in New York. I'll still be running Miami Bitcoin Academy in Miami. We're gonna do it our way in Florida. They can do it how they want in New York, but we're already starting to expand to other cities. Detroit, who we've already talked to, Atlanta as well, and then LA is next. So we're moving forward. That idea is already getting blasted because they came out with the news right before a big drop. So everybody's like, why would you go to the project to teach them about Bitcoin? They still need to learn, but everybody looks at price. So they are getting a little beaten for that. But at the end of the day, everybody knows the real. I have the receipts. You can see exactly when the idea was created. I posted the initial pitch deck like earlier this year, way earlier this year. So it is what it is. But again, people know the real when they see it. That's why everybody under the comments kept saying, so Isaiah's teaching, right? You giving away Bitcoin in Black America? You're not bringing on gentlemen of crypto? I mean, literally like half the comments that came up was that. So I don't know if it was my algorithm or if there was just a lot of people reaching out because they understand what it is.
And shout out to the Warriors for holding it down for us and making those comments because, now that you mentioned, I wasn't going to say anything until you just said it, but he kind of let the cow to bed. Hey, if you're in Detroit, press city too. We already had a meeting with the Detroit team, the mayoral, some of the team for the mayor or whatever. And yes, I saw the Bitcoin Academy plan laid out in that meeting. I think we had that meeting last year, right?
Yeah.
We had a Detroit meeting last year. So I saw the Bitcoin Academy point plan and blah, blah, blah laid out then. So, and then again, as I even mentioned in the tweet, I'm like, people, where do you think the masterclass came from? So again, shout out. I want to be clear. Shout out to Naja. I'm glad that her and her husband got it. She's been grinding for years. Again, hand clap to her. Just as far as Jay-Z and Jack though, like you gonna cut my guy out over some tweets? Keep that same energy your entire life. Have your family keep that same energy your entire life. Like what? Detroit, we don't play that shit. Anyway, Kid Grebo said stacked Ethereum. Oh, yeah, that's why I ain't know. It's stacked Ethereum, STETH.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Glad I know about that now. All right, last few comments. I'm getting the last comments. Any announcements that you can go ahead and throw them out there while I was looking at the comments?
None from me this week. Just watch out for the rug pulls. Everybody getting smacked in this bear market. So protect your neck. That's all I would say.
Oh, you know what? Lido. I did look at Lido before. I believe it is I think it is a lending platform. I'm gonna look into it again. I do remember actually looking at Lido back in the day. Now they used to stack Ethereum like that and it's just spell like that. But if it's another lending platform, again, all of them, like as I mentioned in the mass class, it should be a small percentage of your portfolio and you should expect the worst. So when you make the money in it, pull it, and rinse, wash, repeat. Let's see. Axie Infinity may have did a preemptive move to avoid some potential legal issues. Might be some lawsuits on the horizon for the play to earn. That would be crazy as well. Let's see. I'm looking at the last comments. Thank you for the tip, Sergeant Crypto. Are we looking for educators in New York? So again, Bitcoin Zay is not doing that. So you gotta holler at them and see.
Yeah, they got the website up. So yeah, you can I guess you can sign up for the teachers, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, check it out. We ain't with them. That's them doing that. All right. Other than that, that is the show for today. Went a little bit longer than we expected, but we both been gone for a little bit. So we gave you all that updated news, especially with this crazy market. Like I said, nothing to worry or fear. This is on par for course. And again, the summer isn't over. So the summer could get better. Or we could be in this until the next happening. Either way, we're still good to go. Nothing has happened to the Bitcoin code. Other than that, make sure you smash that like and share. If you are interested in the masterclass, shoot me a quick email. We'll try to give you a small discount on that will keep active, I guess, for the next few days. Other than that, smash that like and share, and we'll see you all tomorrow with some more news. Cheers.
Cheers.